Well, hello once again. I'm Fraser from Metalworking in France. I operate a little light engineering business here in southwest France. A little project I've got on today, local farmer, or local agricultural engineer actually, is working on behalf of a farmer. He stripped down a baler machine. I don't know much about farming, so I assume it's for baling up the hay and things like that. Anyway, this machine has got a part of a shaft in here. As you can see, this thing it's been welded up and the shaft has been put in because apparently it's snapped off, so it's been welded back on. The only thing is, as you can see, well, I don't know whether you can see, but this shaft is actually bent. So putting it back in, it won't go in where the bearings are, so a bit of a waste of time. The whole thing is just, well, as it stands, it's a piece of scrap really, because it's no good to anybody. On here also is an eccentric turning. It's to act as a keyway basically, to lock a gear, a big sprocket on the end. I suppose it saves putting a keyway in, but it acts as a keyway because it's eccentric. So anyway, what I plan on doing, because this is, you can't bend this straight, I'm going to cut the whole thing off, cut these flanges off, make a whole new shaft. So we'll turn up a whole new shaft, weld it in, weld it all back together, and then it should do the job quite comfortably. Okay, so follow me in the next few steps and see how this job progresses. And in the meantime, if you haven't already done so, please don't forget to subscribe and like at the end of the video. Okay, thanks very much. Now I'm just cutting the circlip groove. So that's going in quite nicely, 2mm wide, and it's going in about 1.5 mm. So that's fine, should be about right, just about perfect. So what I've done here, I've put a packing piece underneath this jaw here. So that's 1.5 mm, which will give me a 3mm on the diameter offset. So hopefully this should be about right. You'll watch this as I machine this out. Now I'll just measure this. Hopefully it will be about 35mm. There we are, spot on, dead on 35mm. So that's quite good. I've got the 3mm offset. It looks about right. Pretty primitive way of offsetting, just to put a packer under this one jaw, which just offsets it enough for what I needed. I needed approximately 3mm offset. Put a 1.5mm here. That gives me 3mm on the diameter. So that worked out quite well actually. It's quite good. So now I'm starting to work on the two big discs. Well, I'm not sure what they're for. I believe they're for the binding string or binder string to go to wrap round the bale, whatever it does. I've got to drill this out first of all, and then I'll machine out the rest. The stub of the axle is still on there. I've just cut it off, so I'll just machine this out. Right, so now I'll just face this off. I'll just clean up the front edge so that it's nice smooth edge. Now I'll bore this, keep boring this out until I get to take the spigot out. Now I'll just remount the plate itself onto the lathe so I can then start boring out. I'm going to have to bore this very slowly because the material is quite thin, and trying to measure it with the telescopic gauge is very difficult. So I'll have to I'll just take small cuts until such time that I can then make it a nice smooth fit into the shaft. Right, well that should be quite nice. Nice finish, not a bad finish in that. Let's see if the shaft will fit in there. So we'll just switch the lathe off now. And we'll try this shaft and see if it will go in. It should, hopefully, be a nice smooth fit to go in there. Try it the other way around because there might be a little bit of swelling on that end of the shaft. So there you go. That slides in quite nicely. It's ready to be welded in now. So that's okay. Right, so I'm just going to tack this to get it into position. I've put packers underneath here, literally so that I've got the right size from this face on this flange up to the base of this one, which is 95mm. So that's in position at the moment. I'm just going to tack this so that I can hold it in the right position, and I can take all those packing pieces out and weld it properly. So let's just put a couple of tacks on here. Another one here. Alright, I'll just hold that in position then. But that's fine, that should be okay until I can get it welded up properly. So here we have the finished item with the sprocket on the end of it. Well, there you are. Nice job completed. Not too bad actually. As you can see, the size of it, quite heavy. It's still a bit warm from where I welded it up. Welded this flange on the end and this one in the middle. The distance between these and all these distances had to be correct. As I explained in the video, this part of the shaft is offset. It's offset by about 3mm. That's so that because it goes into a gear and it acts as basically like a keyway. Rather than having a keyway in the shaft and on the sprocket, this actually goes in so it can only lock in one place. So hopefully that should be okay. Farmer can get his baler back into action, hopefully, and carry on doing harvesting or whatever it is they do with baler. I think it's for baling hay or straw. So anyway, I don't really know that much about farming. I don't really know much about farming equipment either. This machinery is machinery as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video, and look out for more videos in the future. So in the meantime, I bid you farewell. Goodbye.